So we're coming into conversation today with Yonatan. So I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have this conversation with you. I'm excited to support people who are looking to share more, to amplify the light in the world. So I come from the video production world. I come from marketing and like very technical side of things. And I've been doing this since 2008. And
Same.
I've been, yeah, really?
I started
Okay.
in 2008 as well.
Oh, wow.
With my path.
Wow, beautiful. And I'm really curious. So I'm starting this interviewing and podcasting to get to know people and get to know what they're going through. It's in the conscious community. So I've been working with anyone who will give me money for my services.
Yep.
And that's not a way to run a business.
Yeah, that's definitely not a niche.
No.
So we can't really hone in our skills. And I've been doing the same, like I'll say, okay, yeah, sure, you need this on donation. Sure, we'll do some services, but there has to be, and a lot of y'all might have these same pain points, is there has to be a bar for us to really set for the ones that we're calling in that are ready to do the work.
Yes, and if we're not specific and with our offering and knowing who we're serving, then we kind of fizzle out.
We water it down.
Yeah, and it's like we just, not enough people know what we do because we're not talking, we're just like throwing a big net and we don't know who's gonna catch, who's interested in this even. So
yes, I call it throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what sticks.
Right.
And I know a lot of y'all are like that, duct taping your offers together, throwing spaghetti against the wall, seeing what sticks. Oh, well, sure, I'm going to just go ahead and take this client, and I don't really do massage work anymore, but I'll go ahead and do a massage for that client, because they asked. And really, what this is about is honing down who we're speaking to, because Zig Ziglar said a long time ago, if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody.
Yeah, totally.
And the algorithm can't even pick that up. They don't even know who to put that out to.
Right. So Pixel Dust is becoming, is my brand that is emerging.
I love Pixel Dust. I love that.
Thank
the
you.
fairy in me, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So it's the little magic that you need to get your business flying.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that, and it's coming through. It's been years of bringing together all the aspects that I'm seeing that businesses need. So the reason why I started doing this is for many reasons, but particularly two. One, I've been producing videos for people and seeing how I invest weeks of work in particular projects, but I don't have control on how they use the videos. I don't have control on how they kind of show up in their business and with strategy and having all the support that this needs. I see the video as a sprinkle on top, as the microphone for what you're doing. And if you don't have a whole system around that,
you lose everybody.
You're just throwing it out there and you're investing money in the wrong stuff. So I
and
see that as a
speak to
sprinkler.
that really quick.
Yeah, sure.
So when you're throwing that net out there, you spend all this time and energy creating content. You're putting up reels, you're putting up videos, you're putting up posts, and then you're like, where is everybody? And they may come in, but if you don't have a way to catch those fish, they just swim away.
Totally.
And you have about 3 seconds to catch someone's attention.
Totally.
So in that, with that tiny, TikTok type mentality of less than 7 seconds, how are we going to catch people and really let them see the value of what it would mean to work with us?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, being specific. And that's why the second reason is that I'm started Pixel Dust. And also using this name, Pixel Dust, it's like, I'm not catering for the corporate crowd.
Right.
Those are bye-bye. I'm not interested in doing projects for people that I'm not passionate about what they're doing. And in the conscious community, there's many beautiful offerings.
Yes, there is.
But there are no systems.
Right.
So now you're trying to share your light and you're very adamant and inspired to do it. And then you show up in front of your computer and you're like, how do I send out a few emails together and BCC, should I CC or BCC?
Right.
No.
This does not need to come from your Gmail. This needs to come from a software that actually has programs and campaigns and has a way to bring people back in and to bring them back to your offers and to collect their data. And this is things that people in the conscious community are like,
Also, they don't want to sell, right? So like,
Selling.
why exactly? Like, what is this idea? And money, the blocks around money. is
lots
like,
of money blocks.
So I'm looking to
Old
purify
stories.
that, release it, and offer systems that I know who I'm dealing with. I know people who don't have a strong purchasing power, and they're trying to get things from the ground and bringing it into
Right.
the world. Now,
Like you
I'm-
said, the seeds.
yes, so this is a greenhouse is what I'm
Oh.
cultivating, and we're gonna have little seeds I'm gonna supply the soil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna supply the irrigation, and I'm gonna supply the structure around it to protect your little seed that will grow and will nurture it properly.
That's delicious. I love that analogy.
Yeah, and I want to do this in community. So everyone
Right.
also comes in and they're nurturing and cross-pollinating and a beautiful place for you to grow your business alongside people who are doing the same thing in the same stage. So I'm really, really focusing and narrowing down. Guess what? Those people don't have money. I am very aware of that. So until you're not making money, I'm gonna wait. Like
You are making money.
Huh?
You are making money.
Well, I want them to make money,
Yes.
and we make money together.
Right.
Okay.
It's a
So
win-win.
really giving them an opportunity. I mean, obviously, I'm running a business, and it needs to be profitable. So it's like what you're gonna get, and what I'm gonna be teaching people to do is to build an offer that it just doesn't make sense. It's like it's so good it feels like it's a scam, and that's what your people need to question. And then what will tell them that is not a scam is all the social proof and all the success that your clients are having because of they've been working with you. And you must come from this mindset if you really want to serve in the most, like, you know the term minimal viable product?
No, I'm not
So-
familiar. Say it again.
Minimal viable product. It's called MVP.
MVP.
And that's how you start a business. That's the lean business plan. It's like how much can I do to reach the minimum that the minimum effort that I could put in so I could engage with a client and like start working together.
Okay.
Okay? And this is like this type of idea of like you're trying to run a really like efficient and
Very honed
like
in.
yeah, and also like you're not giving much. You're not giving much because like you're really like taking score of what you're giving and what you're getting in return. And it's like kind of this tit for tat. Now, this idea of building an offer that is so irresistible, it's like you're just giving them everything for their success. You want to give them offers in the beginning and when you're working with people where they need to see that once they come into your ecosystem and they grab this free thing or that free thing that is catered exactly for them, they need to think, you need to put them in a place where they're like, oh, if this was for free, what will I get if I'm going to be paying this person? And it just
Right.
keeps growing and growing. So I'm looking to give everything. So first of all, for success and for the success of whoever I'm working with, and to get that social proof for myself, I have some, and now I want a lot more. And the idea of scaling something like that, you want to hone in a way that you're really in your lane and using the systems that the platform, Pixel Dust is a platform for you to host your website, your email marketing, all your communications with your clients, your courses. It's like a place for everyone to come together in a community and to have coaching and to work together live. Not this
Get
like
feedback
everyone.
off of each other. And
Yeah, it's like cohorts.
Yeah.
And every
That's
time a
really
new
good.
cohort.
That's really good.
Yes.
People need that kind of live interaction and really practice on pitching your offer because we all have really beautiful things to offer.
Yeah.
And when you get down to it, you think you know what it sounds like in your head. And then when you get ready to say that, you're like, like, why did that sound so robotic? Like I came off super weird. So like it's what like we call the elevator pitch, right? How can we hone it down to that 90 seconds or whatever it would take to ride up in an elevator, and get clear and concise every time of what that messaging is. And then when we create those offers around it, we can practice utilizing this languaging that really helps to bring people into our field.
Yeah. And speaking to that, people are like, what is this guy offering? Or like,
Right,
and what
right.
are you offering?
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting into it. We're kind of meta about the offer at this point. And if you want to learn more, like, you can go to my socials and you'll see what the offer is and what's
Yeah. Do
happening.
you have a link tree in your bio, or
Yeah. So currently, this is something that's like really incubating.
it's a closed
And
container right now?
Yes, and what's happening right now with Pixel Dust, it's becoming this academy. So it's from a studio, a video production studio, going into this academy that the first cohort is not going to be me serving. So I have a very niche, I have a very particular person that I'm going to work with. And this will be yoga teachers who are coming out of teacher training, or yoga teachers that want to improve on the systems that they already have, that they're done with strapping it all together, like you said,
Yeah,
duct
the
tape.
duct tape of all the systems,
Yes.
trying to make it work. Yes, that
So-
gets very frustrating. And that's one of the pain points that a lot of our people have, is that yes, you might have things that work sometimes, but then you're like, oh, where did I post that link? And how can I go back and see who commented on that? And trying to catch everybody. And then now do I have to send a Gmail to everybody? Like, this puts it all together.
Automatic. We're also,
Automation.
yes, and we're utilizing AI to personalize it. AI is not evil, y'all. Okay.
AI is really, really helpful. And if I may speak just briefly to that, we are all training AI. AI is new. Think of them like a little toddler just learning to speak English. The way we speak to them is the way that they actually regurgitate the information. And so if we speak to them with kindness and patience and love and gratefulness, they're going to learn those qualities and skills. And then we teach them who we want to speak to, and we teach them how we speak. And then they actually are so helpful, so helpful.
Yes, like it's so exciting right now. So since 2020, I wanted to do this project. And it didn't click for me because I didn't have my audience cleared, like that is like specifically honed. I was, someone else, a friend of mine, was starting his own business that's like offering what I'm offering. What he did, he offered it to 100 different clients in different industries. He had a
Really
team,
spread out.
yeah, a team of 40 people in the Philippines trying to catch up with everyone that he's trying to serve. And when I saw that, I'm like, that is not my business model. I'm going to stay away from this like from fire. And I did until now, until I found a way, until I learned how to craft my offer in such a way that is so scalable nationwide and then also globally, that it makes for me so much sense. And it's not the done for you program, it's a done with you program.
It's a partnership.
Yes, it's
because
it's
each
coaching.
one is like specific to each client's offer.
Well, yes, but no, because like if I'm working with just yoga teachers who are just starting out, everyone needs the
Very similar
same systems. Now, how they populate their systems with the imagery and with the text, those are the only two things that are changing within their offer. But all the systems are the same. All the systems are the same for promoting their workshops, for selling the high ticket items, their coaching, their classes, live streaming their classes, hosting their classes, follow-up sequences of emails and text with anyone they're talking to, booking calls, and payment processing.
So would this also translate to healers and
it does.
service-oriented people?
100% does. But that's not my work right now.
Okay.
So I'm focusing and honing in on this one particular person that I could solve for them something that is very specific, and I know exactly what they need. Now I start working with a sound healer,
Right. It's a
different
little bit
audience
different.
that they're serving. They have different processes or different events. Their whole model is different.
Right.
And as much as I would love to serve sound healers and massage therapists, and I will someday, right now, to establish something, you must go. I'm going an inch deep,
minutia.
a mile deep. Okay, an inch wide, a mile deep is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now, that's the only way that I can see where I could hand over and I could have cohorts of the same type of person, it's like
It's duplicatable.
it's like you're working with one person over and over and over again.
For sure.
It's a little boring and monotonous, but thank God that I'm going to be working with people's like beings, you know.
Yes.
Because that's at the end of it, when you're thinking, so it's just going to be a template. It's like everything is a template. Your phone is an entire template that's populated with different things. It's just a device. And you need to think about your websites as a device. It's just a device for you to connect with the world.
Right. It is the bridge.
Yeah.
And this is, this also is really fitting for what I'm doing as training digital nomads, training people to become free from the systems, to be a digital nomad, to take your offer and bring it out into the world where all you need is a Wi-Fi connection and your phone, what we're doing to support this, same exact thing, but we're taking it to a little bit broader picture where we're working with the ones that want to find their why, really want to hone in and match every piece and part of their world, not just their work or not just their personal life, with why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? And keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper until that why really makes you cry, like until you really find that depth. And then from there, building the mission statement of how like, so that, if this, so that, so I am creating this so that this is my reach in the world. And this can reach a little bit broader spectrum of people because it can be applied to yogis and artists and starseeds and light workers and healers and female entrepreneurs and conscious business owners. And yet still, they're all going to still need a scale. So once we stop exchanging time for money, we're going to need automation. We're going to need systems and structures. We have to do that in order for us to be fully free.
Yes, absolutely. I was laughing, you're talking about the why. I spent an hour this morning. I woke up at 3 a.m.
I did too. So much energy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I must write. And the way I write, I record myself and I walk around the neighborhood. And from 3 a.m. to 7:30, I was just walking. I walked 10 miles.
Wow, so you went outside and started walking?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so quiet, so beautiful.
Nice.
I have a little flashlight just to make sure that like I'm seen and all that. And I just walk around and I'm just talking.
Yeah.
And all that content is connecting to my why. Why am I doing this? And every once in a while, I must connect to that again, because that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
Yes.
And also that's what the people want to hear.
That's your driving force.
Yeah, so that's also your emails and your marketing and your Facebook posts or whatever, Instagram,
Yes.
TikToks, and your website and the videos, everything you create.
That has to come first, because
Yes.
how can you get your messaging clear until you know why you're here?
Yes.
And if you still don't know, that's what we do, is we offer that type of support to get somebody from A to B.
Okay, tell us about some of your programs.
So what we offer is really coaching packages for soul coaching, for deep diving into our purpose, into why am I here, into how can I find more self-love in myself, how can I find the tools and the practices that is required for me to have this deep, deep, strong foundation, whether it's yoga or meditation or breathing exercises or a sacred dance practice, and then starting with that every single day and having an accountability partner with your coach and your group, finding sisterhood within that. And then from there, really developing our path and our purpose and writing that out. Coming into the Digital Nomad course is one of those things that is an offering that can be done at your own pace and online. And so people can do that. They can work with us in private session as well to get, to heal to the point where you're ready to move forward and really step into your purpose and path. And perhaps it causes some major transitions. People come to us a lot with transitionary periods in their life, whether it's divorce or whether it's leaving a corporate job or whether it's just moved, and looking for community, looking for tribe, and also looking for support and wisdom and guidance. And so we offer that through the tools that we offer, whether it's online or whether it's in person, and also events that we're doing, such as Inner Goddess retreats. And we also have destination retreats in Costa Rica coming up, Colombia, things like that, Hawaii and Egypt. And so
it sounds like a whole festival, global festival.
It's a global festival,
running.
but to hone it into like your own living room. Like these practices are all recorded. These are all available to everybody that wants to tap in 24/7, 365, so they can do it at their own pace. But then we offer the containers where it's really a safe and sacred space to share these things, to write out your why, and then to broadcast that why into the small group that you're in and say, okay, sisters, here's what I came up with. Give me some feedback on this. How does this feel? How does this sound? Does this feel authentic? And then as coaches in the group, we'll give feedback. We'll help that, just to be more refined. Coming into the next step, okay, now how do we bring this out into the world? What's our next step? How do we create the Facebook groups? How do we create how do we do an Instagram live? What equipment do we use? What are the basics that we need to get the messaging out there? What kind of emails do we need to write? What kind of software do we need to use? And so it just takes you step by step by step through the digital nomad training, so that at the end of the 12 weeks, if they're doing it every week, it could be a lot longer if they take their own time, they're ready to take their offer out into the world.
Nice, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's very, like, I see how, okay, so I met you at an event that you were rocking the room. I'm like, who's this person? I must connect. And it was like, okay, there's some power there, and I'm glad we connected.
I am so glad. Yeah, we met on the 1111 portal, and the event that we were doing was the, what was it called? The 1111 Cosmic Ascension Dance Party or something like that.
Might as well.
Super magical. All of that.
Yeah.
And my teacher was there from Colombia. We created a portal of light and a crystal grid in the center of the ecstatic dance floor, right in front of the DJ booth. And then we called in the codes coming in from our guides. And so this is one of the things that really differentiates our work from a regular corporate coaching kind of thing, is that we really deeply tap into Mother Earth, and we tap deep into our soul purpose and receiving that information from source, however we call that. And so we created this portal, and then we worked, and I just worked through channeling through the chakras and moving our energy up through the chakras, and starting on a supine and then moving into a forward fold, and then moving into a breath work, and moving into a stance, and moving into an ecstatic state where we're all completely channeling this information straight from our source, but we're fully grounding it into the earth, because what good is it if it just fizzles out?
Yeah.
I'd use the example of, it's like an orgasm. Like, it could just be gone in a second, but you could really work with that energy that is same as a tantric energy. That energy is the same as the cosmic bliss, and we're channeling that energy, and then we're using that in our heart field, and we're expanding that out into the world.
Yeah, that work was beautiful. And it's like there's so much you can do alone, and then when you start doing it in groups, it's beautiful.
It's exponential.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, I'm so happy to be working with you. So let's talk a little bit about some of the questions that you had at hand.
Yes. So the intention of this podcast, coming from Pixel Dust, I'm looking to interview inspiring. So there's two types of content that you could create. There's two types of content you could create: aspiring and relatable.
Right.
And I feel like those are the two types of people I want to talk to, and have balance between the two. So it also doesn't really, like, you could be aspiring and you could be relatable, and that's a lot about like how you want to show up, and a mixture of both is really good. So for you could be aspiring for some people that I am wanting to work with, and then you could be relatable to like the crowd that is a little bit different to who I'm working with, or maybe I'm working with in the future. But within that kind of realm of people I'm working with and supporting, I want them to have people to kind of like to create a pool of content that is like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, this person is doing it. This person is riding the bike. You know, people who are like, so I'm working with people who I'm asking them, do you wanna? Sounds like you want to hop on this bike and ride it.
Wheels.
Yeah, so let's get you going. And like, seems like you're kind of
Same.
You've
like
been rolling.
It's literally offering the training wheels to get into the position of your dream life.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about. What vehicle are you using? What, are you using a bike? Using a motorcycle? Are you in a schoolie? You in a van? You in an RV? You in a truck? are you on a yacht? You know, what is your vehicle, and what, like all the things of that vehicle, how is it very unique and specific to your offer, but how can it reach all these people? And so this is the vehicle. And I have several different vehicles that I'm operating with. The one I'm speaking to today is specifically the digital nomad training. The one you're speaking to specifically today is your Pixel Dust offer with your automation and your CRM and all of that. And so with that being said, the people that we're reaching, like you said, we want relatable information. They want inspiration and aspiration. So you can aspire to be like somebody. It could be in a mentorship position, which we offer a lot of in a lot of our other deep dive programs, like our Egyptian Mystery School and things like that, our shamanic training, our yoga training, our Reiki training. But for more of a broader offer, we're talking to people that, okay, I like what I see. I'm not sure how I can do that, but I'm ready to do the work to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I have a prerequisite, a little bit of a prereq. Your prereq is you've got your yoga teacher certification.
Right.
Which actually is pretty much usually a prereq for us, for people to enter our deeper dive programs as well.
Good. Yeah. Just show us that you want to do good in the world. You have a little bit of training under your belt. And you're ready to go.
It could be massage therapy training. In our field, it's a field of mastery that you step into. So you're in some type of field of mastery, whether you're a psychologist or you have a doctorate in something that you've really mastered. It's the discipline that's required to get there, which knows that we're able to work with people on a deeper dive level.
Yes.
And so we decided to scale that back a little bit and not go so niche, and offer the digital nomad training and the soul coaching for people that are just getting started. So we're kind of backpedaling back to 2008 to circle back to that. And where was I when I started? You know, and where were you in 2008 when you started? So I'd love to speak to that a little bit. I know that was a topic that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, totally. So, I think going back to where I started, can we do that in a second?
Yeah, sure. Let's go in order.
Yeah, so I think that the beginning here is about why this podcast is coming into the world, and kind of helping dialing in, and what are we doing here today? So this podcast is recorded, it's live stream right now, and that's just kind of for fun. It was a last minute thing. And there is a camera over there that basically what's happening is that I'm being recorded and you're being recorded and we're being recorded, okay? Meaning that this one camera, we could cut it right here and I have my own content. We could cut it right there and you have your own content. We need content. Everyone needs content.
Content creation is essential.
Yeah, so
and
this
being
is...
able to use it in multiple facets.
Right. So that's kind of one thing that we're doing. Another thing is the aspirational and the inspirational and the relatable, and it's really important because I want to kind of learn out of your journey. So then we could also kind of like take those questions that I'm asking you, and it will be a little in a quicker format. So right now there's like, we're chit-chatting and we're flowing, like this is unscripted, we're just like getting to know each other also, and it's super cool. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Also, I wanna mention that we are at Casa de Luz in downtown Austin, and this place is, I mean, the moment I walked in for the first time, it's been so precious.
Oh yes, it literally means the house of light. And so it is literally a portal of light that's been here for 30 years, but a lot of Austinites don't know about it. And it sits on top of the aquifer of the Barton Springs. So it's supercharged with all the magic water, which is one of the things that I love to teach about, is consciousness of water and the living water, and drinking the living water and praying over the living water and all of that. So one of the reasons why this place is so magical is because these magnificent trees are all tapped down into those sacred waters.
And trees in Austin are important. It gets really hot here in the summer. This is a sanctuary, this is an oasis, and the community that it brings together is so beautiful. So until I moved to Austin recently, and until I met Casa de Luz, that was the tipping point.
Yeah,
where I'm like, you know what, I can stay. I think I could do this. I think I could. Until then I was like, where is everyone?
Exactly.
You know, and then someone told me, have you been to Casa de Luz? And I'm like, no, not yet. This is like, yeah, that's a spot. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it took me like, a few weeks to get here. And then it took me a moment to like understand. It took me a month to know that I have a yoga studio here. Now I go there, like it's great. They have
Yeah.
amazing, and it's just a great place. What
It
is this?
That was where Third Eye used to be.
Okay,
Yeah, so Third
that-
Eye Cacao is here too, and lots of people come there, and they have a beautiful owner and lots of different multiple offerings as well. And when I first came to Austin, we moved to the outskirts, and it's been 18 months. But the very first week, I was invited to come here and do a lecture, and then the next day, I was told to come to Casa de Luz and set up my reader table and do angel card readings. And this was told by Spirit, and I was like, what? I literally just got here. Like I haven't even unpacked my RV. Spirit's like, you need to show up with your table and sit down there and just meet people. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna argue. I'm just gonna do it. And so I've been just coming and arriving ever since and just showing up, and we always meet amazing people. Like our meeting yesterday was actually after the 11/11 portal, and we had an impromptu run into each other again, which solidified how we're working together.
Right. That's beautiful. And this what inspires me most about Pixel Dust is the community aspect of creating everything that we're going to be creating together in person. I want to do this in person, and if not in person, then there's going to be like an online live group that people tune in.
And that's how I operate. I do most of my things online and live, but I want to go back to also offering in person now that we have a solid place here in Austin. And so we'll be doing some also in-person offers for those of you that are watching this that you could be a part of. But we will be recording pieces and parts of those
live
for content.
streaming.
Exactly.
Yes.
Live stream some of them, record some of them to be available for content, for replays, and part of the programs and things that we're offering. So stay tuned. Make sure you drop into the link tree in our bio after this video and sign up for one of our free offers, so that way you can get involved with both of our content that we're coming out with and get invited to the free things that we're doing, and also the paid programming that's going to have some really amazing value for everybody.
Yeah, I'm so excited to roll it out. Okay, let's dive into the questions. So you shared a little bit about this, but in a few sentences, what inspires you to do what you do?
So my why, I'll just go with my why. My why is to empower women to find their passion, purpose, and potential in the world, so that we can all together create all the freedoms of time, location, health, wealth, and inner freedom through joy, adventure, and magic.
Okay, someone's been thinking about this, how to phrase this and how to, let's go.
And that's been going from 2020. It's been refined. That's my 2024 version.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. So here's kind of like, what was a surprising impact that you've experienced from your work, and how has it changed your life? So you started doing this type of work, and it's like, what came to you from left field, and you're like, oh wow, you're looking back years later and you're like, this thing really shaped me in a certain way.
Wow. And just so you know, we haven't pre-rehearsed these questions, so we're going to have an awkward pause for me to sit with that. That's a deep question. So I'm just going to share a tiny bit of, I started my Reiki journey and when my mom was going through her breast cancer journey. So that's probably the most pivotal. I had a toddler at the time, and my mom had a recurrence of metastatic breast cancer back in 2000. And so I was looking and seeking an alternative form of health. And they were doing the deep chemos and the radiations and the surgeries and all the things. And I was like, wow, these treatments are going to kill her. We have to find another path. And so we found Reiki. My mom and I both took level 1 and level 2 Reiki together, and that completely pivoted my life to really be in complete alignment with Source. And I started to deepen my meditation practice. That's when my clairvoyance really started coming in. I already had clairaudience and like hearing and clairsentience, the knowing, but it all started coming in so much clearer. And then I had my second child, and I started doing Reiki for my kids, my pets, my horses, my family. And my mom was really using it to deep dive into her own personal journey. She would read her Bible, and she would pray, and she would do her Reiki to keep herself out of her pain body. And so that was probably the most pivotal, was really working with energy and realizing we are all energy. That's all we are.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Much love to your mom.
Thank you.
Yes.
She crossed in 2008, which
Okay.
is when I pivoted my whole path and completely aligned with following my purpose. I left my other self-employed job with my ex-husband, now ex, was married at the time, left that and pivoted completely into taking my yoga teacher training.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Good. Okay. So that was your gate into this. Not so much by coincidence that the timing was
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a complete, I don't call it even a 180, I call it like a 760 or whatever the math is on that. I was just, and as she was crossing, I was like, I really want to leave a legacy in the world. What is my legacy? And that's when I started my yoga teacher training. And then I got my Reiki master, and then I got my shamanic training. So just boom, 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 it just led into this path.
Okay, so I'm calling to breathe for a moment. Just take a breath and ground ourselves from
Oh, yeah.
You're going to take some breaths with us.
Yeah. We're both little yappers, like hummingbirds.
Yes,
And
lot
I
of
love it.
energy moving,
Yes,
lot of
good.
energy
So,
moving.
yeah, just okay. So now you're starting your journey. You have a strong sense of maybe mission and service.
So in 2008, I started professionally.
Okay.
And so I was at home, stay-at-home mom before that. And so I started my company, which was then called Yoga for Love. I still have the website, yogaforlove.com with the number 4. I've kept that website this whole time. And so I moved into, what does that look like? How am I showing up? And I was called to get my foundational training, which is yoga. I really feel like a 200-hour path is just simply the beginning. It is just barely learning the tools to walk on this path. And so when I started on that path, it was 2007. I graduated in 2008. My mom crossed over in 2008. And it really propelled me to really have a deep dive into who am I serving. And I started serving moms and black belts in a dojo, moms of the kids that were going to karate, and then the instructors, and started doing yoga for people that were in a very yang environment who didn't know how to relax. A lot of the moms, they were just busy. And so we would do yoga classes at the dojo. And that's how my practice really started.
Okay. Good. I love the term crossed over. So I think I'm going to adopt that more than. That's fine.
Okay.
So thank you for bringing that, upgrading
The
my
verbiage.
Vocabulary.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
still
yeah,
here.
It's,
They're still
yeah,
here.
yeah. It's a higher frequency way of, yeah, I like that. So good. Let's see, what else do we have here? So what does it mean to you to come into serving from your heart? And what was that transition like?
So our mission is to create a safe and sacred space for women to come into community, both online and in person, through the tools of yoga and Reiki and meditation and deep dive work on their self-love and their self-care and doing that deep healing work. And so that's really, how we're serving. This is the way that we do is we create these containers that are safe for us to delve into our own self. And it started with my own self doing this. My partner, my twin flame Takata, deep dive work for 20, we have 44 years of combined practice together in this life, and thousands and thousands and thousands of other lifetimes together that we worked together. And so we hold this very safe space, whether it's in a group chat, something very superficial, or a red tent where it's a women's womb-like space and container, or whether it's a yoga teacher training, or whether it's a retreat, or whether it's an online space, so that's the intention, is to create a safe and sacred space where we can grow and nurture our own self-love and self-care, and then begin to come from that place when we show up in the world.
That's beautiful. Every one of those offerings is kind of like you could probably talk an hour on each one of them.
Right, and they're all
Yeah.
very niche, so I'm going to
Yes.
stick to the
Yes,
more
yes.
broader offers.
Right.
And there was a second piece to the question. What was the next
Yeah.
part?
So how was the transition? And when I say transition, because a lot of people come into this world where they are introduced to a different way of living,
Yeah.
like I did.
Yeah.
And I'm like kind of transitioning. Hold on, wait. I could do the same work that I'm doing, but it'll be way more fulfilling if I tweak this and I tweak that, leveraging my experience with technology and all the expertise that I have with video. And if I just point my camera at this person, then now I'm feeling like I'm in service to bringing more light into the world. And that's kind of like, okay, how can we use and transition from what you're doing currently, but like to be in more of like, right now, this is not work for me. This is like
Right.
so much fun, just chilling. And now I'm gonna go back home and it's like with this
Play the
footage and I'm
video.
like, woo,
Yes.
It's
like a kid in a candy store. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, what can I do with this? What can I do with
yes.
this?
And that's not the experience when I work in different environments. And
Very true.
and
Very true.
So you are an OG. So like,
Yeah.
sounds like this is what
Been
you've
doing
been
this a hot
doing.
minute.
Yeah. So like you've been doing this from day one. And I also see all
And
the
I want to
offerings
say
on
I'm
your
so
website.
grateful for that.
Yes.
I really am.
Okay, good. So that's what's when
Yeah.
I talking about the transition. So like it's coming because like now I'm starting to come from my heart. And I'm like,
Well, my transition was coming from a stay-at-home mom
Uh-huh.
into a business owner.
okay.
So I can speak to that.
Yeah.
And then the transition was coming from owning an in-person studio to going online
Okay.
and taking that and scaling that.
All right.
And then taking that and then building the retreats from there. And then taking that and building something that's even a broader offer that can be broken down a little further,
Okay, so let's this is our next question. So what key decisions have led you have squirrels what key decisions have led to your business? Okay, let me ask this again, okay? What key decisions have led to your business growth to this point?
Okay. So the first deciding factor was to follow my heart, to circle back, and to really ask in a meditative state, what am I here to do? Because I come from doing hair. I did hair for many, many years. And then I helped my ex-husband with his business for many, many years. And neither one of those were really fulfilling my heart. There was things and aspects I really liked about them, but when my mom was getting toward end of life, and I'd seen the amount of positive impact that she had through she did a lot of philanthropic work through the breast cancer awareness, and spoke to a lot of women and changed a lot of lives with her deep relationships and also her keynote speaking that she did at a lot of the 5Ks. And I thought, I really feel like I'm not doing that. I feel like I'm just, your phone got super hot. So I feel like that was a deciding factor to pull away from the bread and butter, which was our primary business that my husband owned, to follow my heart and to take the path unknown and to realize that I was here to teach. I was here to teach, and I was here to teach yoga and meditation and energy work and spiritual teachings and to help people to find who they really are. And I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know if I would ever make any money. And when I first told my father, he was a financial analyst for IBM, and he says, well, can you make any money doing that? And I said, Dad, I don't know, but I know I have to follow this path. And that was the last time he ever questioned me. He said, okay, I support you. Do it, do your thing. Now, my ex-husband was a little salty because I left doing his books and doing all the client relations. And I said, you got this. I'm going to set you up on QuickBooks. See ya. I'm doing my thing. This is what I'm here to do. And then that was the beginning of everything, because it is, and that's why I named my company Yoga for Love, because it was all for, for following my mom's path and following my heart.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
You've been sharing these stories with your audience and been sharing?
Yeah, I published my book in 2018, which has my story as the beginning, the first chapter.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
And I should have done some research on it. It's getting,
We're here.
we literally should we record the
Let's
podcast?
just record. Why not? Let's
Record.
record. And thank you all for joining. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're here.
Let's talk about some challenges.
Challenges. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna be transparent, y'all. So this is gonna be where we get real.
Okay, good. What have been some challenges in your business?
Well, money. Because when we work in the spiritual work, people think that you do a lot of things for free, and we do. We do give away a lot of things for free. We do free community events. We offer to pop up red tents at festivals and hold community containers and things like that. We offer to, to see people who might not have an ability to have any kind of help otherwise, or we might have scholarships to bring people into our program. So, and a lot of y'all that are spiritual healers and teachers and yogis, you might have that struggle. So this is where I get on my soapbox, and there's like a limited number of those scholarships available. It's not okay, anybody who just doesn't have any money can just come into this program. First of all, we've got to figure out why. Why don't you have any money? Let's figure out your money story. So hi little bee. So we've really started deep dive working for the last 2 years on my money mindset and my abundance activation and my mindfulness and my daily practices and my future pacing and calling in the things and seeing the things in our reality as if they're already here. Creative visualization, working with really high level mentors. But it took a while to get to that point where we're in complete trust and flow of the universe now. We know everything is already here. Mm-hmm. It's already here in the unmanifest, and if it's already a thought, it's already a thing. And so teaching and speaking and living from that perspective, but it took a minute to get there because there's a lot of old stories that had to be deleted and reprogrammed. You can't just delete like on a hard drive. You can't just delete and leave empty space. The universe doesn't like a void. The universe will fill it with something that's easy, which is the old programming. So instead, we have to delete and re-record. So we have to put in the new programming. Otherwise, the old program will just creep right back in. And so it's been a lot of reprogramming. I've moved 10 times in the last 4 years, less than 4 years. But to do this many level of upgrades and this massive amount of experience, if we weren't living in the RV and moving and meeting all these people and having these divine appointments and these sacred lands that we were living on, we couldn't have upgraded this fast. So we're taking all of this information that we have downloaded and translating it into a very small attainable session or a small attainable program. So you can take all of that wisdom and receive that and not make those same mistakes, So a lot of us have to delete those old programs, and this is really where it starts.
Okay, beautiful. So do you want to go another level, a little
Sure.
bit more personal?
Let's go.
Because that was your soapbox.
This is my soapbox.
Right.
This is
Your soapbox.
I will preach on this all
Okay,
day.
so let's hop off and tell me about a bit about your limiting beliefs and blocks that you've been working through.
Absolutely. It's all in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
Same vein is working through true trust, gratitude, and surrender. Working through being in complete gratitude every single day for every single thing, being in complete connection to source at every single moment and not deviating. Because when we change our trajectory, and I noticed even just shifting my trajectory just a tiny bit, let me give you an example. So I have my why statement, and I have my mission statement that I mentioned earlier. Okay, well, someone comes in, you and I have super aligned missions, which is why, boom, we could just jump on live and it's like, let's go. Mm-hmm. However, there might be someone that comes into our field that sounds really great. Okay, well, let's do this sound healing workshop together, and this is just an example. Doesn't mean I love all y'all sound healers. Y'all are freaking amazing. This is just an example. But let's say this is a sound healing conference. You're invited to keynote. Sounds great. Oh, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity. I can meet all these people. But when we really match it to our why, is that who I'm speaking to? Is that my audience? Is that how I'm supposed to be showing up? It might be a good fit, but is it like Cinderella getting in the glass slipper? Like, I'm going to cram my foot in there.
Well, not Cinderella, her sisters.
Yeah, her sister tried to cram her foot in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so are we trying to cram our foot in that little glass slipper, or is it like an easy fit?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of times, especially if we need money, if we're coming from a place of a need and coming from a place of lack, then we're going to be like, oh yeah, like you mentioned earlier, I'll just take random clients doing whatever. No more of that. We're really honed in on who we're speaking to, because these are codes of information that we are bringing through to the planet. Mm-hmm. This is decades of wisdom honed into these tiny coaching sessions that we're bringing through to the planet. So we cannot have the ability to water that down anymore. And there was a period of time where we were just watering it down, and then wondering why it all poured out. Mm-hmm. Where's it going? There's cracks all in the bottom of the bathtub. So sealing up all those cracks. Are you doing your daily intentions? Are you sitting with gratitude? Are you sitting in your breath work? Are you doing a daily movement practice? Like, are you doing all these foundational things? Are you listening to positive podcasts? Are you listening to positive mentors? Are you reading positive books that take you in the right direction? Because these are all what we call the miracle morning. These are all the things that we do every single day to build that foundation. And if we don't have those things and we're just jumping out of bed and just running into the world and running to take the kids to school, and then running to work, and then running to the store, and then going to soccer practice and getting gas and going to bed. How is your day? Everything is built on that foundation. And so creating that super, super strong structure is where I have been for the last 4 years.
Okay, beautiful. All right.
So thank you for asking.
Yes.
And it's a daily practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. It doesn't ever get completely, I've made it, I've graduated. No, because we're always up leveling. Mm-hmm. So we're looking for, more people to inspire us. We're looking for people that match our frequency. We're looking for people that make us grow, that challenge us.
Yeah, I think that the growth is kind of, it's like very simple. The easiest way to explain this concept is anything that's in the sun. Just like the bigger it is, the more shadow there is too.
Absolutely. It's always equal. Yes. That is such a good point. And so the brighter our light gets, the deeper the shadow gets.
Yeah.
And just to go in a tiny rabbit hole, may I?
Please.
Tiny. We always talk about in Native American teachings, which wolf do you feed? The dark wolf or the light wolf, right? Which wolf are you feeding? And a lot of the teachings tend to let you believe that you starve this dark wolf and he'll go away. That's actually not true.
Oh, he gets upset.
He gets upset and he gets angry and he gets bigger and he gets louder and he gets more aggressive. The only way for us to calm the dark wolf is to love him and to nurture him and to feed him. Not just the scraps. He gets a whole plate too.
Uh-huh.
And this is how the dark and the light actually get balanced and fed. Because also the light has a shadow, the shadow has a shadow of light, and then it goes infinite.
Oh my God! Okay, that's I didn't think about.
Yeah, so it could go really deep.
Yeah.
But we have to.
But the shadow has a light.
Both. Exactly. It has.
And the light, and the shadow's light has a light.
Exactly.
And the lights of the shadow.
Exactly, and it just keeps going.
Oh my God! Okay, that's interesting.
It's like the infinity mirror.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. That's a good rabbit hole. Yeah, I like that rabbit hole. Okay, so. What piece of advice or insight will you give to people dealing with the same issue? So you kind of went into that. I want this to be a little bit more with the business aspect, because what I want to my content is kind of directed towards people who are trying to get answers based on other people's experience. So If you could keep that in mind when the advice of like starting the business, which is those are the people who are I'm working with, people are getting started. Maybe like, and you're seeing people are getting started as well. What kind of
Exactly.
advice can you give them?
So back when I first got my yoga teacher training, I was wondering, like, how would I get out there? How am I going to, like, a lot of the questions I had, who am I going to speak to? How do I get my information out there? How do I get people to come to my classes? Where do I find my members once I had a studio? How do I get membership? You know, and these are all common questions for people that are starting out a business. And so, you know, when we're speaking to that, it's a matter of finding systems that work for us. You know, I had found softwares. I had asked other studio owners what kind of softwares they were using. I found places that would give me free marketing, magazines, online outlets. I would do a lot of writing, and I would submit articles to different magazines, um, different yoga magazines. I've been published in lots and lots and lots of different small scale and large scale magazines, and just submitting your work and then just getting your voice out there. And from there, you know, now, of course, back in 2008, social media wasn't nearly what it is now. And now we have also the avenues of social media. And you can do organic marketing or you can do ads, you know, and both of them require you to get into the algorithm to find your people and just really being clear on who your people are.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, because, you know, if you're going to teach a class to elderly people, you're not going to go market that to the elementary school teachers.
Yeah.
You're going to go find a place where the seniors hang out and say, hey, I have a seniors class. You know, we're doing yin yoga on Thursday mornings. Come on over. You know, or you're going to have it at a place where seniors go. You know, so you're going to try to find your niche and speak to that niche. And it's the same thing online.
Okay, yeah, that's excellent advice, and I totally support you in that. And I'm glad, yeah, about the magazines. People forget that those exist.
So many online magazines too.
Yeah.
And
Good,
podcasts
good.
too,
Mhm,
you know.
Good. Good. Yes, excellent. Like do the things.
Do the things.
Do the things.
It requires consistent effort. And one of the things that's going to really, really make a massive difference is carving out time on your calendar for your work dates. They're non-negotiable times. When you're self-employed, you are only accountable to yourself. Now with the program like we're offering here, we'll have an accountability container and some integration in there as well. But for the most part, you still have to be self-directive. And that causes you to have a really good sense of, am I actually doing income producing activity? Am I doing my back work? And am I creating time on my calendar to do these things? Or am I going to have coffee for 4 hours and actually not getting anything done? You know, so we have to really be accountable to our calendar. And, you know, time in this limited reality is finite, but even we know this is an illusion. But we still have to, you know, we still have to be mindful that we put times on our calendar for our work.
Okay, good. The mosquitoes are eating
Yeah, they're
me up
starting
really
to
good.
come.
Yeah, so the last question is who are some mentors you look up for inspiration, or if you have, you know, one person that can help people that are starting out to accept you, or people who guide you and when you're kind of looking for some more clarity with your business and with your work in your world, maybe personal, like.
I have so many available. To name just one would be really difficult because I do watch a lot of mentors on YouTube. I follow channels for astrology. I follow channels for intuitive guidance and intuitive readings. I follow channels for Egyptian Mystery School. I follow channels for business. I follow channels for money mindset. I follow mentors, and I have direct mentors within my other business, which is a Magic. And this is where I work with the living water and the freedompreneur business. And I have some really beautiful direct mentors in that business. And this is exactly why I joined that business model with that particular team, is because of the mentorship. It is the only reason I joined that team versus just willy-nilly kind of signing up to become a global distributor under anybody, is because that particular team, which I'm under, and the mentor, his name is Balaz W. Cardos. and he has an amazing podcast called The Diamond Life. And so I would highly suggest Balazs W. Cardos with The Diamond Life, if you really want to really create this life, this dream life that you really are walking into, that you really desire, because his content is also broad enough. It doesn't speak just to people that are in our particular business. It speaks enough to people that are all self-employed, that are looking to really fully step into challenging yourself to grow into that legacy that we can, so we can impact the world.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I'll look this person up. All right. So thank you, Aiylah,
Thank
for
you.
having this conversation. I'm super excited to see you grow and to see more about what your work does and potential collaborations of working together. Yeah, is there anything else you want to share?
So I just want to invite everybody who's watching to jump in and just sign up for one of our free offers or our newsletters, so you can be invited to the things that we're doing, because they are going to be at first invitation only. It's not going to be an open net, like you said. We want to really bring in people that are ready to do this work together and to really do the work that we are here to do in the world, and scale that so we can leave that legacy on the planet. And so if you would like to work with us in any way, or like just to follow what we're doing, make sure you visit our link tree and subscribe and follow. And if this video helped you in any way, please share it with a friend, and stay tuned for more good stuff to come.
Cool. The last thing I want to share is the cohort that I'm putting together that is going to hit the ground running January of 2025. We are going to either refine our offers. So this is a cohort of a mastermind. This is not me now coming and doing a cohort with my target audience. It's going to be a cohort of people who are looking to create their own offer, and high caliber people who are looking to refine their offer, put systems in place, and challenge each other on what they're creating. So
Sounds juicy.
that's a really exciting opportunity for me to build my, I call it the Beethoven, because I've been trying to play my scales the entire time. Michael Singer, take this from Michael Singer. He says, do your scales. You can't just go straight for your Beethoven.
Right.
So I've been doing my scales for years, and now I'm working on my Beethoven.
Yes.
So
Ooh,
for
it's
the
your
next
masterpiece.
year, yes. So the next year, I'm building this offer out, and it's going to be a beautiful journey for me. And I want to do that with people who are cool, and I have a bunch of resources, technology, connections, network, a deep network of people who are successful. And I want to connect the dots between that big capitalist world and the people who are wanting to bring light into the world and empower them with those tools and opportunities to do so. So I'm super excited about this cohort. PixelDustAcademy.com, that's where you can find more of this, more about the program.
Okay.
And yeah.
And do you have a link in your Instagram as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not there as of now.
But it'll be there. By
But
the
it
time
will
this
be
is
there.
Published.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Beautiful. That sounds
Yes.
so exciting. I cannot wait to collaborate with all these mastermind people. And so, yeah, that sounds like the next place to go. So between now and then, we'll do a little kind of like what I could call an open housewarming party for us to share a little tidbit of what we're offering together and separately, and then invite you as you come into that to take a deeper dive.
Yes. Okay. So Austin, Texas, we're signing off, and thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see you in the next one.
See you then. All right. Namaste, y'all. Bye. Thank you for being on.